happens is I grew up admiring my dad and my brother. And when you do that, you want to do films like them. But at the same time, you want to be different. So in trying to be different, I kept trying and getting offers because my image was something else. And because I wanted to do films like my brother, like Ziddi and all the kind of films he did. I want that manly feeling, kind of Deol, but I never got those opportunities. So it was a tough period. And then ended up, when this happens, then you're going through a phase. This was a point where PR started becoming a part of your career. And earlier on, when I started, everyone came to you and took you. But what happened was because PR came into play, actors started using their own manipulations, which is normal, which is how you survive in this world.
Right.
And roles that could have come to me were going away. And then slowly, I always believe there's a space and place for every actor to be in an industry, but that's not how it is. So I lived like that growing up, but now things have changed because I have changed. I think all these years of whatever I've learned through my ups and downs, through my mistakes, have made me a very stronger person when it comes to being an actor. I'm fearless. And I want to keep challenging myself. So that's why when I got Bandar, I couldn't sleep the night before the shoot.
The first day of shoot?
Yeah, first day of shoot. I mean, I was like, what has Anurag seen in me? What did Nikhil think and see in me? I mean, I'm like, I was up, restless because it's that kind of a role which is not like how you always are a part of a character in a film because you're so used to playing larger than life characters and you get so conditioned or so adapted to that kind of an attitude that if the camera comes on, you just become a little like this.
Yeah.
And here I had to play a normal guy who is so vulnerable, he's not, who thinks of himself as a good guy at the same time he thinks he's a bad guy, because he's fighting with his conscience all the time.
Yeah.
I couldn't sleep and then I put on Animal at 4 o'clock in the morning to see what was it in Animal that someone saw in me that they believed that I could play this character. Right. And then I went to sleep around 10 o'clock in the morning and I got up at 11, got ready, went. And that was my first day of experience as to the process of how Anurag works with
What was
actors.
your first scene?
I don't remember that clearly. I was so nervous. I mean, it was in my house. So I think it was with Sapna.
Oh.
And I'm saying, where's the script, where's the dialogue? He said, no, Bob, this is a situation. This is how it is. And I will just give you the lines just before shooting. So you just go through them. And I'm like, okay. I mean, ये तो मुझे पुराने टाइम में लगे जब डायलॉग्स कभी देते नहीं थे एक्टर्स को शूटिंग के पहले एकदम से दे रहे हैं. But then it was so spoken, it was so real, like you and me having a conversation.
Yeah.
That the lines, once I read them, I didn't have to memorize them. Because he picked up, you know how Anurag is, he picks up amazing actors. And so throughout the shoot, I was surrounded by these amazing actors whose energy would just make that moment so real for me.
Yeah.
Like the police station scene and things like that. I mean, it just started coming naturally. I never improvised in my life. There's a scene where I can't reveal it. I don't know when this interview will come out, but there's a scene where I am and the dialogues were something else, but the emotion went to such a level that I started saying things because I was just.
You can talk. We will put it out one day after the interview.
No,
the movie, so yeah.
It's like, I mean, every scene there was some kind of improvisation, and I was shocked with myself that I would come up with something which I didn't even expect.
Yeah.
It's something it just would come out, and every time we did a take, the emotion that there was a scene where when I'm getting interrogated, and I was so emotional and so this thing that my co-actor felt bad for me, and he didn't have to give me a glass of water, and he picked up and gave me the glass of water, and I was like, and it was just happening naturally. And they were so nice because they're all such experienced actors who were trying to make their name that they encouraged me, saying, Bobby, you're doing amazing work. We never thought you'd be able to do something like this. So every day was like a workshop for me working with Anurag. I was just learning. It was like he was making me tap my inner conscience to understand how and what I can feel in a different way as an actor.
Right.
So it really was one of the best experiences, like going to a workshop and learning how to understand yourself as an actor.